let me ask you straight out. Are you the feelings police?
Well, no, sir.
Okay, you're money.
If that's the way you feel, I'm sorry.
You don't think so? You don't think so?
No, sir. We got taxpayers in here.
Well, why can't you go in and say, hey, I talked to these two students in
And
conversation?
also, they said if y'all would not be around here around 3:30, 4 o'clock, because that's when the ladies leave, and they don't feel comfortable with y'all here.
Okay, so
You understand that, I don't even.
yeah.
Welcome to Mr. White, the place where real encounters between law enforcement and the people unfold before your eyes. Today, we're diving into a tense encounter in a bustling urban area where a citizen exercising his legal rights unexpectedly becomes the center of police attention. On a bright morning in a busy district near a bank handling hundreds of thousands of dollars in daily transactions, a man with a camera stands on the sidewalk filming historical plaques. What seems like an ordinary activity quickly raises alarm among bank employees, leading to the arrival of Officer Melvin, a stern and determined officer committed to maintaining order in his own way. Instead of reassuring those inside the bank, Officer Melvin chooses to stand guard outside, declaring that he won't leave until their fears subside. But is he enforcing the law or simply catering to personal emotions? This footage was captured by Damaged Beyond Repair, a channel dedicated to exposing real-life encounters involving civil rights. Check out Damaged Beyond Repair for more eye-opening content. And don't forget to subscribe to Mr. White, leave a comment, and share your thoughts on this situation.
Hey, guys. What are we doing today?
See, you're Officer Melvin.
Yes, sir. Minneola PD. Step back this way so the cars don't hit you.
Well, I'm on the sidewalk.
Well, I know, but
I'm a grown man. I don't need you to tell me where to stand on a gosh darn sidewalk. And your first question is, hi guys, what are we doing today?
Yes, sir.
I'm just out here on a public sidewalk recording, minding my own business. And other than that, I really don't answer questions.
Okay.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Can I ask you why you're videoing the bank?
Maybe I didn't, maybe I didn't sound loud enough. Like you say, stand here, we won't hear the sound. I already explained to you what I'm doing, and further than that, I don't answer questions, and you immediately ask me another question. So I'm bidding you a good day. I'm bidding you a good day. I'm minding my own business, Officer Melvin. Well, they can worry about whatever they want. I can't control their feelings, Officer Melvin. You're out to protect and serve. You addressed me. I addressed you. I'm out here recording in public. Okay?
You're right.
Okay, so you have a great day, Officer Melvin. I don't want to discuss anything with you. How can you not understand that? Please, Officer Melvin, you have a great day. I don't care. I know they're worried, and you can give them some tissue.
I'll stay here until their fears are gone.
Okay, you're going to stay here until these ladies' fears are gone. Until what is that, Officer Melvin? How are their fears going to be caused by you being here? Yes. Yes, sir. Correct. So, Officer Melvin,
Yes, sir.
You're here to uphold the law, right? But let me ask you straight out: are you the feelings police?
Well, no, sir.
Okay, you're not, but you're staying here. You said until their fears are quashed.
Yes, sir.
So you're acting in that capacity.
Yes, sir.
And
They contacted me because they were worried.
I understand, but you made the contact with me.
Around here,
Right.
it's odd for people just to walk around filming business.
That's fair.
Being a bank,
Uh-huh.
being a bank,
Right.
they're just worried.
Sure.
So
They're concerned. You came out with another unit. I explained what I'm doing.
We're literally
But yet you're still here.
standing here in front
Pardon me?
in front of a historical
Well, there's another one
monument.
that rolled up by here, and he's gone by twice. Maybe you didn't see him, but he's been here.
and that's all I'm doing.
So it's unusual for people to take photos of historical monuments in your town.
A lot of times,
What is this?
it is.
Why do they put this here?
I don't know.
You have no idea why they put that there.
So, Officer Melvin.
Well, what about this one?
Here you go, another unit. So you've got these monuments for people to come by and read and photograph, video, but yet you are here to quash the fears of these women because they're still here, and you're going to stay here until we leave. Isn't there any crime you could do?
You just said we've got 2 other officers on the streets right now.
But you're pulling down good money, man, for wasting taxpayers' money.
If that's the way you feel, I'm sorry.
You don't think so? You don't think so?
No, sir. We've got taxpayers in here.
Well, why can't you go in and say, hey, I talked to these 2 fellas, they're not doing nefarious things, they're not going in your property, why don't you just quash it and say, don't worry about it?
They contacted me because they were worried.
I know, you keep avoiding the answer to a logical question. Why don't you march in there right now, tell them, I've just talked to these guys, they're not doing anything illegal, you don't have to fear about anything, they're not here for nefarious purposes, rather than say and call in, I'm here at the bank, I'm going to stay here until they leave to quash the ladies' fears because they don't have any tissues and I'm the feelings police. Let's be rational, Officer Melvin. That's what you should do, sir. And I address you, sir. You should march in there and quash their fears and then take off.
You're the one not being rational.
I'm not?
No, sir.
Why? You're standing in front of me wasting taxpayers' money when you know we're not doing anything illegal, but you wanted to stand out here so they can see you? It makes no sense. Dude, you get a call, you're gone. You're not going to stay here with us. You're just a control freak and you can't let the ego go, bro. I get it. I know. Look, shake head, laughing. Dude, I travel the country. I deal with people all day long. You got to go back to acting 101 because it's not working with me. You could easily go in there and do that, quash their fear that we're not doing anything illegal. We're not going to intimidate them. We're not doing anything. They're fearful of a camera. Okay, so beat it. And then you could take off. But no, you want to be that way and you want to spit out your snuff. Isn't spitting snuff out illegal in this town?
It's disgusting.
No? Okay, it's not illegal. But if I wanted to take a dump, that's illegal? Could I take a dump there?
If you want to take a dump,
You're going to hand me up?
No.
Okay. Would you take a dump there?
No.
So where are we at? You're just going to hang?
I thought y'all was going to film.
Oh, well, you're the show. You're the show for the department in the city. You're just hanging out here when I'm being rational with you and you say I'm not the rational one. I'm saying, listen, you engaged us. I'm not answering questions. We brought up many reasons, okay? You don't have a logical explanation why they would put these signposts here for people to read or film or videotape. So be it. You don't have to be the knowledgeable guy with that. If you're not the knowledgeable guy and you're just trying to boost your ego, man, you could go in there and say, hey, these guys are just recording. If I get a call, ladies, I'm going to have to damn move. But in the meantime, I'm going to stand out here, put my arms in my vest, and look like I'm your safety net. I'm your safety net, ladies. You know, dude, you'd be more of a professional by taking my suggestion and just telling those ladies that these guys aren't doing anything wrong. They're just recording. They understand it's unusual. I talk to them. I address them. There's no concern. They're not going to do anything. They're just out here recording. And ladies, maybe you can tell me so I can tell them why are these historic monument posts on your property. So when people ask me that, I can tell them. You could ask them that. You could be knowledgeable at the same time. Rather than you shed the knowledge to them that I'm telling you, you can come back out and say, hey, you know what? They told me about this.
Have you read that?
That's your comeback after my 5-minute oration? Come on, dude. Go in there, Officer Melvin. Do the right thing, man. Uphold the Constitution, not the film, not the feelings. Not the feelings. Not the feelings. Not the feelings, man. Uphold the Constitution. I don't get your point, because you're going to leave when you get a call. And then what are you going to tell the ladies?
I had to go.
Well, you called up that you were going to be here until their feelings are quashed or they feel safe or whatever you told them. They're not, their tears are on the ground, but they may fall, slip and slide. I don't know how bad it's going to get. They may need psychiatric care. who knows when they see somebody filming, and the officer came out to address it, but the officer didn't go back in to tell them everything's good. The officer just wanted to be seen from the window from all these ladies that are all going, yeah, Officer Melvin. You tell him, Officer Melvin. You tell him what's right. And our tears are going to still be less, but we're still scared, Officer Melvin. Dude, go in there and set them straight. Show up for the department. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are going to see this video, and instead of calling the department and saying, dude, your ego is over the top, do the right thing. Go in there and set them straight.
You know what's funny about all this?
That's your second best retort about my 10-minute oration? Nothing's funny, dude, except the way you're responding. You are waiting. You are waiting, dude. If it wasn't me, you'd be waiting for black gloves to put on. Okay? You're the dude. I've got pictures of all the officers that I have had to go to court over. Okay? And you're a poster child for it, bro. You're a poster child. Just your look. Just your look. Okay? No disrespect. Just your look. You're a poster child for what's wrong. And your actions here prove it. You are refusing to go in to calm these women down and let them know that everything is okay. You refuse to do that because your ego has to match your look of a tyrant. You know, I'm going to look you up, Officer Melvin, after all this is over. I'm going to deep dive you. I'm going to see how many complaints you've had on yourself. I'm going to look at your income. I'm going to see what departments you've transferred from. I'm going to attach myself to your hip because you are not upholding what's right in your oath. You should be marching in there right now. You've heard me enough. Tell them everything is fine with these young men that are out here. I'm going to another call. And you can't do it. You just can't do it because your ego, man. You're a prime example of what's wrong in policing today. You are the reason good cops get hurt. Sad day for you, Officer Melvin. Let's just wait until you get the call, and I'm going to just say, Officer Melvin, bye-bye. You're not upholding your oath, bro. You're not upholding the law here. You should march in there and tell these ladies everything's good. They're not breaking the law. But hey,
I've never said you
I will just stay out here. I will just stay out here. You don't have to worry about these two guys. They're not doing anything illegal, not breaking the law. They're not disturbing the peace. They're not loitering. They have a purpose. And ladies, don't forget, remind me what these plaques are, because they were filming plaques that are on the property, which seems very bizarre according to Officer Melvin when people come in to report. You know, it's very odd. It's very odd. And Officer Melvin, don't forget, I'm on a sidewalk, but yet first thing you want to do is tell me, get away from the curb. You know what that tells me, man? Is you are a tyrant that loves to give directions.
I don't want you
loves to take directions, bro. That's all you do. You want to give directions. So where is the crime? Certainly there's got to be something going on that will take you away from here. I mean, I was going to say the barber shop, but it don't look like you need to. You probably do your own hair. I'm sure you do, because it's meticulous, and you don't want somebody cutting it, nicking it. Because there's a lot of barbers, I'm sure, that would like to do that.
So Officer Melvin says he's going to stay until we leave.
So we're
I guess
just
it's going to be a long day.
Officer Melvin. These women, they're here. In the mini yellow jackets, Officer Melvin. Officer Melvin, I'm requesting a supervisor here.
242. I get 202 or 203 to come to my location and requesting a supervisor.
10-4.
Thank you, Officer Melvin. Thank you.
Where are you guys from?
What was the call, Officer Melvin?
Suspicious people.
Suspicious people?
Yes, sir.
any mention of cameras?
Yes.
So what was the call, Officer Melvin?
Like I told you, it's a thing.
No. What was the call? Suspicious
they
person
said there
with two people they identified as
trying
blue.
to talk to you.
I know, but you just said one thing. You're not releasing it all. I gotta ask you.
If you will let me talk,
Okay, go ahead. Tell me the whole story.
we were contacted because there was two guys walking around the bank,
Right?
and it made the ladies uncomfortable. It's a thing. They're afraid they're going to get caught.
Understood. I got no issues with that at all. You know, I would expect people to call when you're filming a bank. I would expect that. Okay? People don't know, and what they don't know, they become fearful of, and they call the men in blue. I get it. I get it. Now, knowing that I get it, you show up, you've had this discussion, and you've determined we're not a threat in any way, shape, or form. We're not a threat in any way, shape, or form. If we were, there'd be backup with you already. You've already determined your backup left.
You are exactly right.
Correct. Listen, like I said, I do this all over the country. It's not my first rodeo, okay? And so that issue now becomes, why are you still here? That is the issue.
Because, and like I had told you all ago, the ladies do not feel comfortable inside.
Until we
y'all
leave.
walk
Until we
around.
leave. Until we leave.
Yes, sir.
Until we leave. But you said you're going to get a call and you're going to leave, and we'll still be here.
We have other officers there. If I have to, I will leave.
Okay, and then what? You're going to call another officer to come here and wait for us? That's what you're saying.
sir.
Okay, that's what you're saying you're going to do. Okay.
You know, I mean, if it warrants that.
Pardon me?
I said, if I have to, you know.
Well, you're going to leave, and you said, Officer Melvin, that their fears are going to be quashed when we are gone. We are physically gone. And you indicated that if you get a call, you're going to leave before you're physically gone. So their fear won't be quashed. So I'm saying if you leave, you're going to...
Other officers.
Correct.
So, I mean,
You're going to
it's very
call...
unlikely that I would have to leave. I mean, if
Oh, I got you. You're saying there's enough officers on staff now, you're not going to have to take off.
possible.
Well, this is an easy day for you, man, just hanging out here. Shit, what are you pulling down out of this thing? 75 maybe?
I wish.
No, not that much. Well, whatever it is, quite honestly, you're getting overpaid for acting this way.
Well, that may be.
I mean, come on. I mean, you know, realistically, you can't, so I get it, you want to be seen with me, but you can't go in there and tell them what you're telling me, that listen, there's no reason to be fearful. We know it's odd.
I don't know that there's no reason for the girls to be fearful.
No, we're past that point. It doesn't matter whether you know it or I know it. It's the woman is emotional. Okay, we can go a deep dive down there because listen. They're not logical. If their feelings, you're enforcing their feelings here on the dollar. On the
logical?
These women have feelings.
Is that what you're saying? That women are not logical? That's what you just said.
That women are not logical.
That's what you just said.
Yeah, women aren't logical. Right. Like I was a woman, I changed. I wasn't logical as a woman. As a man now, I'm logical. Okay? All my women friends were not logical when I was a woman.
Okay.
And that's why I believe the group of women I hung out with were not logical. To make a blanket statement that all women throughout the world and the history of the world are not logical would be a silly statement.
No,
I'm not
very
saying that.
technical.
I'm not
Technical
saying that.
statement.
I didn't say that. I'm saying when I was a woman, all the women I hanged out were illogical. And now I'm logical as a man. I'm fully transphobe now. Okay? So my question is, why can't you just crush their fears? Why can't you say, listen, everything's okay? Because you're going to leave, and you said it won't until we leave. Our presence has to be done with before their fears are quashed. Now you're double talking. Yeah, you are. You can't double talk and say, I'm hoping my standing here is quashing their fears. At the same time, you've told me that they're not going to be quashed until we physically go. So you got plenty of people coming out. All right. Well, it's unbelievable that this department feels imperative enough to just stand here rather than coming to a solution. No, I get it. I'm just narrating to the hundreds of thousands of people that are going to see this.
What is y'all website? I'd like to see it.
Oh, you'll see it. You'll see it.
Oh, you're gonna see it. Bet that.
I mean,
Bet that.
You know why you're going to see it? Because the switch panel is going to be bombarded at the department, the city hall, everything about how this transition into this. We were all good. We were all good. Everything was good until you decided to just stay here until we leave. That's where it went south. And that's my issue. That's the entire. I have no issue with you approaching us. No issue with us calling. None of that. No issue. It's expected. Okay? And you're going to hear a repeat performance, so just get used to it because I'm going to address your. This is a sergeant, is he? A captain? And what's above him? Chief. Okay. What's his name? Captain. Cook. Feel okay? Maybe the post office.
What's your name?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, good call. Yes, sir.
Where's he going?
Huh?
He's not leaving. Okay, I called you. We're out here on the sidewalk. We expect that we're reporting the bank. We've got markers here of history. We're reporting this. We're in front of a bank, so we're expecting possibly the bank's going to call us. It's unusual to see people reporting. I think we have 2 or 3 minutes
All right, so he said we have permission to come on their property.
So he rolls up, he's cordial, I'm cordial. Yeah. I do this all over the country. True. Yeah. Not here to get hung up. He rolls up and wants to know what we're doing, and I tell him, I said, listen, I'm on a public sidewalk, I'm recording here, I've got these plaques here at the back. Other than that, I don't answer questions. So he didn't really like the answer. He, I guess, had talked to the ladies in there. The ladies, you know, it's new to them. It's a bank. We're scared. You know, we had feelings. It's emotions. Right. I get it. You know, okay. If cops didn't roll up, I would have something was wrong.
Right.
So I tell him, other than that, I don't answer questions. So right after that, he asked me a question, and I explained it. And I'm courteous. You know, listen, my demeanor is my demeanor. You know, you get what you get. He was courteous. But he kept with the questions. He's just, you know, going to stand out here until we're gone so these ladies' feelings and their emotions can be squashed. And I said, well, listen, we were all doing good up to this point now because there's got to be some sort of crime going on here other than us. We're not breaking the law. To explain what we're doing, you should go in right now and cross it with these ladies. You met these 2 younger guys.
Y'all roll back.
I had them come over here so we could talk. I can't hear you.
And the bank said, as long as y'all are on the sidewalk, there's nothing they can do about it, but they do not want y'all on their property. They said they've already had people calling in afraid to get out because y'all are walking around.
Okay, well,
So
here's the
we can
problem.
move back out
See if
there.
we're on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Do we need to move back
Okay,
out
so
there?
hang on a second.
Well, just hold on. Let's finish talking.
finish the
And
conversation.
also, they said if y'all would not be around here around 3:30, 4 o'clock, because that's when the ladies leave, and they don't feel comfortable with y'all here.
Okay,
Well,
so,
you understand that. I mean,
yeah, well, listen,
Listen,
I'm not here to argue with how they feel. I can't control their
yeah, no.
emotions and what they're
I know.
He's
What
expressed
did you
them.
call me down here for, though? Let's
Okay,
get to
I
the-
called you down here because it was going good all the way until I was trying to get Officer Melvin, instead of being on taxpayer money, to just stand out here until we leave, so they're going to feel better that we're gone. And I told him that you're not upholding your oath to what you should do. You should go into them and tell them right now that you've addressed the issue with these two individuals. They're doing nothing wrong, nothing illegal. They're not going to do any harm to anybody in here. If I had been, those units that lined up with him, he would have already had backup. You've already determined I'm not a threat. And so I called you because he's refusing to do that because his ego won't let him do it.
What, leave?
To leave.
To leave.
If they want him here, he can stay. He's going to stay here.
Okay. That's how
What
you
else?
guys do it?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay. Even though we're not doing anything and we explain to him what
Nobody
we're
said
doing?
you were doing anything.
I never said you were doing anything.
Right.
I'm just saying, these
Is it-
ladies in here, they work at a bank. They're afraid somebody is going to rob them. These little old ladies that are coming in and out here, they don't know y'all. All they see is somebody walking around filming. They don't want to get out of their cars.
Understood. So why don't you flash it and tell them? Why don't you tell the people that?
I can tell them that all you want. It's like what you said. How were you when you were a woman?
How was I?
Yes.
Illogical? So
There you
you're
go.
saying they're illogical?
No, I'm not. I'm saying.
So why did you ask me how I was when I was
y'all
a
doing,
woman?
Jim?
I don't ask questions.
I know, but how does that relate to them? See, I told him I was a woman, so I was illogical when I was a woman. So he's saying, see, when you told me you were a woman, I said, what does that have to do with anything?
Okay.
All right, so you guys are going to just stick out here. We're going to stay
He
here.
is. I'm not.
Well, we're going to stay here till midnight if we got
okay.
to.
Well,
So,
you're
like,
welcome
you've
to.
been cool,
Nobody's.
Captain Cook.
And I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be back the next day, and we'll be
Listen,
back the next day.
A lot of people are going to come back. He says, we're going to ask you not to come here at 3:30, 4 o'clock. You know, that's not going to happen.
Well, we'll be here at 3:30 or 4 o'clock.
It's just ridiculous,
That's fine.
man. It's just ridiculous.
What's ridiculous?
People need to get rid of their fear. That's what you're here for, aren't you?
Sure.
You think so or not?
No, I'm here because.
So y'all are
No,
private
I didn't mean
security for the bank
physically
now?
here. I didn't mean you physically here. I mean to get rid of people's fear when you show up.
So they're
That's
working
part
private
It
security
doesn't
for the
matter
bank
what I
now.
say. You guys are going to find something else to say about.
Well,
this.
are you working private security
All right,
for the
we're
bank
done.
now?
Y'all can go back out to the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Okay. Have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching this video until the end. We have just witnessed a tense real-life situation where the line between law enforcement and the abuse of power becomes increasingly blurred. On a busy street under the scorching midday sun, a citizen was filming on the sidewalk, an act entirely legal. However, instead of ensuring public order and protecting civil rights, Officer Melvin chose to stand there, not to uphold the law, but to ease the concerns of the bank employees. A decision that raises more questions than answers. According to statistics, banks in the US process an average of over 600 transactions per day. In such a high security financial environment, employee vigilance is understandable. But what happens when that vigilance becomes an excuse for the police to monitor a citizen without legal justification? Can we accept a society where the emotions of a small group dictate the legal freedoms of an individual? If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, remember that your right to film in public is legally protected. You are not required to provide personal information unless there is a valid legal reason. If questioned by the police, stay calm, record the interaction, and request a supervisor if you believe your rights are being violated. What do you think about Officer Melvin's decision? Was this the right way for law enforcement to act? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to Mr. White so you don't miss future videos.